Hello and hello and welcome everyone. I'm Alvi, host of this wonderful session of Learn from It, organized by Bangladesh Robotic Foundation in association with Daffodil Robotics Lab. Once again, welcoming our honorable guest and our beloved audience in this wonderful session. We are living on an era where fourth industrial revolution is taking place. Everything is getting automated. Therefore, the demand of robot and robotics is increasing. However, the concept of quantum robotics or robotics in Bangladesh is quite new. I know enthusiasts have lots of questions about quantum robotics and robotics. So don't need to worry. We have a very special guest with us who will share the insights and the opportunities of quantum robotics. So without wasting any time, I'm welcoming our keynote speaker, our distinguished guest, Dr. Catherine Dimitrievs, inventor CXAI technology Cyprus, and also she's also uh, the director of international community of Bangladesh Robotic Foundation. So welcome, Dr. Catherine.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to talk about quantum robotics today. I'm very, it is my greatest pleasure to be director of the international community for the Bangladesh Robotics Foundation. And very grateful that is supported by Daffodil Robotics Lab. That is exciting. Yeah, it's I can't wait to start. So
Yes. We are actually very honored to have with you, and all the enthusiasts are very much interested to learn from your experience. So before jumping to our session, I would like to invite our session chair, Hafizul Imran, director and chairman of Bangladesh Robotic Foundation, to share a few words with our audience. So Imran Bhai, welcome to the session.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope all of you who are joining today and watching today's event are well and safe. And today I will not talk much. Today we are going to learn a new area of robotics, that is quantum robotics. So we have with us expert on quantum robotics, and I would like to request all of you try to learn something from our today's expert on quantum robotics. So, Dr. Catherine, thank you very much for joining us. So it's time to share your valuable knowledge to our community. So, Dr. Catherine, it's your time.
thank you very much for that wonderful intro. As you may know, I'm the inventor of Actual Intelligence, CXAI technology, which is able to extract subconscious computational thought patterns from quanta. And I'm fascinated about robotics because as a child, I actually had a pet robot. And that was a very, very long time ago. My father's an inventor, so we did have a lot of amazing technology around the house that still wasn't public knowledge. So I was very lucky to always be the first to try all these wonderful toys. And I remember my robot used to come in and bring me breakfast. And in those days, it actually was programmed with a cassette tape. So that's very interesting. Quantum robotics is an emerging engineering and scientific research discipline that explores the applications of quantum mechanics, quantum computing, quantum algorithms, and related fields to robotics. you know, robotics isn't new, even if the public is more aware of it right now. It goes back a long way, even back in the 50s. They've come a long way since the Industrial Revolution, with artificial intelligence being added in the new millennium. So, and actually, the first type of electric autonomous robots with complex behaviors were created by an inventor called William Gray Walter of the Burden Neurological Institute at Bristol, England, back in 1948 and 1949. So that's very interesting. So the fact that it's been since the 2000s that scientists have been striving to make robots help humans in so many different ways and making them more intelligent and be able to interact with us. It's an exciting new era of such things. Now, in quantum robotics, I would see it emerging more and more initially in the field of medicine. Now, what were robots really originally for back in the day, back in the 50s? They were designed so that they would help humans work more efficiently, do basically the work that would be a lot more efficient, a lot quicker, and less tired, not be so tired in doing so. I mean, the robot would do the work, right? So, and it's proven to help humans throughout time. So now we're in the era of, you know, quantum diagnostics and robots measuring things that are not only more efficient in doing so. For instance, you know, a robot can tirelessly analyze things and upload the data right away and take non-invasive data from patients, and this is a wonderful thing right now. And I also happen to be involved as branch manager, branch director of the headquarters for physicians and surgeons here in Cyprus. They have their main Middle East headquarters here. And I'm seeing more and more open-minded doctors who really want to understand how quantum robotics can help patients. And they're very, I work with a lot of specialists, anywhere from oncologists to neurosurgeons and so forth. And it's just an incredible thing to see, because we need futuristic, we need modern, we just say this, modern diagnostics. Modern diagnostics through robotics is gonna make us understand how to function in this modern world as humans. Now, you know, the type of diagnostics that were done, you know, 20, 30, 100 years ago, some of them are still around. And you see, the times have changed. Radiation around us has changed. And the way we eat has changed. The technology around us. We're exposed to different types of atmosphere, if you will. So we can't keep using the same type of diagnostics and expect to understand how new disorders or issues have arisen, you know. So we really need to, stay with the times and allow, and quantum robotics will allow the professional, whether it be the researcher, the doctor, um, um, or whoever is in need of that data, to do their much important work rather than the time consuming taking of the data. And the fact that you're not going to need so many people to do the steps of actually extracting data and then having them in a computer and then putting them up in a cloud and sorting them and so forth. I mean, it is a fantastic way of uploading the results in clouds where we as scientists can then collect this data for publishing papers and accumulating results at a much faster rate so that we can move forward faster in science and understand things in a matter of months as opposed to a matter of years. So yeah, that is the wonderful, I think, development through diagnostics and quantum robotics. I mean, it is, we're going to see humanoid robotics. We're going to see, that is what quantum is. It's to quantify, it's to measure. And it is the future. Actually, it was already starting, like I said, back in the millennium. It's just that we're more aware of it now. And I'm very happy to be supporting like countries like Bangladesh. There are a lot of talented people out there, a lot of talented inventors and robotic engineers and so forth that need to get their work out. And it just seems like so many countries are understanding the importance of these sciences, and they keep developing, and it's time for the entire world to know what is going on and what type of technologies are on the burner in Bangladesh, and what certain people have accomplished and are researching in order to create international collaborations and make create the goals of the certain robots that are for the specific industries. A lot more fruitful, quicker, and the world needs it. So in my technology, now funny, I played with robots as a child, and I was obsessed with brains. So I was actually in the laboratory with a scalpel, learning how to dissect brains and how we think and different parts of the brain at 11. So it's funny that I'm actually designing robotic brains now, the brains of robots in quantum robotics. Now, the blending of sciences is the key to creating something that is, even humans, we are many things. So robots have to be many things in order to accomplish this. The blending of sciences like biophysics, biotechnology, nanotechnology is the way to create an extraordinary robot that will aid the industry or many industries. For instance, I have a prototype here for CXAI. Now, I just made it into a tablet form. It's just something for people to understand how it works. For now, so we have a sensor and a laser. And what it does is it analyzes points of the face and gets results from the quanta, which are bundles of light that shine from DNA. And it will read the subconscious thought patterns, both recent and genetic memory. Now, imagine that a lot of disorders, disruption in human human health, whether it be physical health, mental health, has to do with emotional responses. And you cannot have an emotional response without thought first. So thought patterns are very important. And I believe that when we read the influential matrix of the human, soon to be animal and nature, but understanding the influential matrix in the human biophysics, we'll be able to use all this quantum mechanics, algorithms, and whatever quantum robotics is using in order to accomplish incredible robots. I mean, I've seen the most exciting things, like robots that will create water from atmosphere, take samples from patients. I've seen robots that take samples for in space, for in agricultural robots that will go around taking certain samples from plants. It's just an amazing thing to see the future of quantum robotics now being merged with. See, the idea of technology is to help humans. This was the idea, is to help humans get more, become more efficient. So why not understand how to go into the human, to the the mysteries of the human matrix, and thus understanding the universal matrix a little bit better. Once we understand our internal world, we'll understand the external world. And from there, it is a pioneer program at the moment, but imagine how many more sciences and how many different types of quantum robotics will be pioneered from that. So that is what I see in the future. I see actual intelligence being merged with diagnostics, artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is direct programming. It's strictly programming, whereas actual intelligence is the extraction of information that is already there. So I'm very excited to see it merge with the future of quantum robotics and creating a new era with blending the sciences of biophysics, physics, biotech, biogenetics, and it's sky's the limit. So in understanding more than one science and using as many as we can, is how we're going to accomplish a lot of our robotic goals. And what is robotics? It's mechatronics, it's electronics. I mean, you need to understand many things to create a robot. So it's the same thing with other sciences. Does anybody have any questions that maybe I could elaborate on?
So thank you very much. I hope our audience will interact with you. Our enthusiasts are very much interested to interact with you, and I hope they have so many questions to ask and learn from your experience. However, in Bangladesh, the concept of quantum robotics is quite new. So, what do you think? How the enthusiasts can involve themselves in this particular sector?
Okay, well, first of all, since it is new in Bangladesh, like I mentioned earlier, we think that robotics is very new, and humanoid robotics are very new, and AI is very new, but it does go back a long way. So studying the history of how something has developed from the beginning, and the scientists that have come before us, and the robotic engineers that have come, before us, and would give a very good base of understanding uh, where we've been and where we're going. So it's history meets future, right?
Right. I'm completely agree with you. I would like to invite Hafizul Imran Bhai to share his experience, because he's also working in his foundation. He's also working with prosthetic arms.
Right.
So it is also a kind of quantum robotics. So Hafizul Imran Bhai, do you want to share your experience, how you are taking these initiatives, because this is the very first time on Bangladesh that you are taking this kind of initiatives to help uh, our people to change Bangladesh.
Oh, thank you. So the mission and vision of Bangladesh Robotics Foundation is to establish a community with a researcher that are working on robotics AI. So in every country needs a community. So it's because the students or teams cannot work or with the technology, and cannot go the further with the community. If they have a community support, they can reach a way. It's because we can see that in every university, school, and college, lots of innovators are already available. But the problem is the platform, common platform. So research community, so very important, and also played excited role to create new innovators. So the foundation are working with them in different organization, as like school and college and university. So in one platform, they can share their knowledge and gather their knowledge from another mentors and collaborative work. So this is very helpful, and the main vision is to connect international mentors with our countries also. So that not only Bangladesh, they can also reach out the international experts. So this is the main goal. So hopefully our audience already, I can see that our audience already do the lots of comments. So our guests should reply the all the comments. So please, Shipon Bhai, please show the comments step by step. Then our guest will reply them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Imran Bhai. So, before moving to the question and answer session, I would like to ask Dr. Catherine a very personal question. Uh, so, I want to know that why have you chosen this specific sector? Basically, I know there are lots of sectors to work, but why have you chosen this specific sector?
Um, well, the specific, you mean in quantum robotics?
Yes, yes. Why quantum
Yes.
robotics?
Well, like I said, it is the future. It is really, actually, it's been the past, the present, and the future. And robotics is in so many different sectors, so many different industries, and it's helping medicine in such a profound way at the moment that this is, I just believe that it is the electronic person, the electronic assistant that we need, the mechanical assistant that we've always dreamed of to help us with the work that would make us go more efficient, faster, and it's incredibly fascinating, and we're going to see more and more of it. It's yeah. So because I do see a future where we'll have robots analyzing the quanta of humans, going around to hospital beds, for instance, and taking samples in different for different reasons. It can help also the animal industry. And it's just endless. Robotics is a I believe that it's just the next, not the next. Actually, like I said, it's always been there. It's been there, you know, before me and now and even after me. So it is it's just like I personally needed a complex amount of sciences to blend in order to create one conclusion and one technology and one new science. I see robotics as the same, in the same understanding. It is such a complex mechanical being that it's parallel to like what's true in one dimension is true in all dimensions. So I love to see the blending of sciences in quantum robotics. This is why.
Okay, thank you very much. So basically, our audience want to know about what are the advantages of quantum robotics. As you have mentioned that the quantum robotics actually helping in biomedical sector. So is there any other sector where quantum robotics is it gives us will give us advantage?
Well, they're using robotics in space. You know, they're using robotics in agriculture, taking samples from plants. I've recently been to Egypt and have met an extraordinary inventor who has a patent for a nanosensor in the DNA of plants, so that he's able to they're able to create a better species of plants to have a stronger. It will detect like the microbiology, and the idea is to create better, stronger plants with better immune systems, and therefore, as we ingest better plants, so we have better immune systems. So now imagine that we don't need. With quantum robotics, one of the advantages is, and a big advantage is that with the types of technologies that exist right now, we need less old school laboratory work. Okay, let me give you an example. When you use scalar field technology, you're able, now we know that each cell, each disease, and each organ has a frequency. And now there are quantum devices that actually pick up with scalar field technology, and they are medically approved. They are EU and FDA approved medical devices in which we're able to now analyze, actually have something like an astronomical amount of results in a very short period of time, non-invasively, without requiring blood samples, urine samples, and things that are not. For instance, there's certain types of microbes, and that of course microbiologists know of, but they still don't have the type of lab equipment that can detect it in precision. Yet scalar field technology is able to precisely pick that up. Because let me just give it in a very simple way. For instance, the machine will use white light. It's kind of like a head-on collision. So you're not able to see it, just like a car with flashing its lights in your eyes. And then the scalar field technology is red light, so these microbes will show up. So we're going to not need this form of analysis in the future. And this already exists. This has existed for more than 10 years. But merging that type of technology in quantum robotics would be extraordinary. So the advantage is that we can analyze things we couldn't analyze before, and in every dimension, whether it be nature with the nanosensor and the DNA, whether it be in space, or whether it be in humans. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So basically, uh, we just we came to know that what are the advantage, what are the main advantages of quantum robotics. So another questions, one of our audience who asked that what are the limitations. So what are the limitations of quantum robotics? So what do you think? What are the limitations of quantum robotics?
Geez, I think that we would even make robots fly, you know. I mean, a robot can turn into a drone, just like in the movies Transformers. And geez, it's if you dream enough and if you think enough, the limits are. I've never actually. I've been so focused on the unlimited possibilities that I never actually thought of the limits. But man and machine can work together in harmony on all aspects. And as long as we have the limit is the humans who are not understanding how a machine can help or different frequencies and different fields of yeah, electrical frequencies or like scalar field, like ultrasound. And so I would say as a statement to that, the only limit is not understanding how, not thinking how you could merge that to to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So I believe this is a new era of man and machine, and yeah, so I think the limitations are very little. Very few.
Okay, thank you very much. We basically came to know about the advantages and the disadvantages and very interesting aspects of quantum robotics. So another question, basically not question, it is actually a comment that someone said that is this possible that if we can make a virtual companion through quantum robotics, is this possible?
A virtual companion?
Yes.
You mean on a screen, or
Yes.
a companion? Oh yes. I mean, look at artificial intelligence. So if we blend actual intelligence, extracting the behavior of humans, and then adding artificial intelligence to create the appropriate responses, we could create characters in robots. That's the future. You could actually create a character in a robot, and it can be your personal coach. It could be your emotional analyzer. It's if that's possibilities there are vast, definitely.
So basically, we can do everything with robotics, and it
Just
is,
about.
and right. Basically, it is changing the world. It's not just the world. I think it is changing our lives. Right. So in Bangladesh, many one who don't have that background of robotics, they also want to come in robotics, and they also want to learn robotics. So, what do you want to say to motivate them that how they can come in this sector and venture themselves to invent something new opportunities, to discover some new opportunities? So what do you think? What do you want to
Well,
say?
I think a true inventor challenges himself first. So the idea is not to is to take an incredibly big idea and see what you're made of, and do everything possible, study everything possible, and understand whatever you need to understand to put that all together. Because what everyone has to be aware of is that we've been using machines for a very long time. We've gone from a dial-up phone to smartphone. We've gone from TV to a laptop. You can, see everything on YouTube now. We have been doing this for a very long time. Things are so possible. If you were to say back in the 50s that we can actually see each other right now and talk, and you're in Bangladesh and I'm here in Cyprus, it would just be mind blowing. It would be, that's not possible, is it? So, I mean, it is an incredible industry, and it is the best type of industry to be a true inventor and understand how, because no matter what, we're using machines. We are using technology, and no matter what, it's inevitable that man and machine are merging to make life better. So, be a part of history and invent for the future.
So, Dr. Katsin, I have a personal question to you. So, how you connect quantum computing with the quantum robotics? How you connect?
Oh, how would you connect quantum computing? Well, you would require quantum computing for very complex behavioral algorithms. So when we need to create complex behaviors in robotics, or in any technology, as a matter of fact, we would need the quantum computing. You can't just, it's not good enough to just, we'll be limited. We'll be very limited when we're just using specific computer languages that will limit us in programming certain things or extracting certain information. So quantum computing is just, a perfect ensemble to the robotics that exist. I believe without that, we can't really create these outstanding diagnostics.
So, comments are arrived. So, is the human brain a quantum robot?
I'd love to be a robot. That's my dream come true. It's the human brain is now coming from someone from actual intelligence. The human brain is a processor. It is not the end all of thought. Mind and brain are completely different, and thought and emotions actually come from different areas of the body and different areas of our energy field. So the brain is a processor, and it is a computer of some kind, but you can think of it as a energetic robot, I guess. But I think that we're just the reason why we can create robots is because humans exist, so we're just mimicking what already exists. We're just creating a machine that has arms, legs, and thinks just like we do. So whatever exists in our internal world, we can do in our external world. So understanding the biological sciences will give us an insight on what a robot can do. Because if man can do it, a robot can do it.
Okay, thank you very much. So there is another question. Fahim Shadier actually asks that what are the degree of freedom in robotics?
Oh, degree of freedom. Could you elaborate on that question?
If we give access robots to do everything, or there should be some restriction for robotics.
So
well, one of the things
the question
can I make
is the of freedom. So this is not hardware robots. This is the emotional robotics, right, Dr. Katsin?
Yes.
Yes. So there is no relation between the hardware robotics and emotional robotics. So only the hardware robotics related with degrees of freedom.
Yes.
So how many way they can move. So this is related with degrees of freedom.
Well, it's no different than with everything, with humans, with degrees of everything behaves a specific way, whether it's a particle, a cell, a machine, an animal. There is a behavior, even microbiology, there is behavior in everything if we think about it. So it's how you train it, and it is how the results will be. So, and of course, machine does have a limit, is that the fact that humans, we have spirit and soul. We have something that is, let's say, far more energetic than a machine, if you will, and that's something that is
Yeah.
very debatable. It's
These algorithms are using are very, very well frequently used in quantum robotics. Which machine learning algorithm are used in quantum robotics?
what type of algorithm?
Yeah, what type of what type of algorithm?
Jeez, I mean, I keep in mind that we let's not forget nanobots as well, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, the algorithms you use for different types of robotics is depends what you feel appropriate and what you want that robot to do. Uh, and like I said, let's be aware of nanobots, which are, microscopic little robots that are programmed to deliver medicine within the bloodstream, and that's been going on since for a very long time now. So, they vary so much. It just depends how fast you need it and how, you know, it all depends on, and also it all depends on what you're blending with it. Are you blending, are you creating nanotechnology along with biotechnology? Are you creating a flying? Are you creating a robot as a fly, as an insect, and is it flying around? Is this a drone type? It's very. It's
So you can see the another comments. Alvi, yeah.
Okay. So Shahriar Zaman Pulok that ask you that, hello, Dr. Catherine. The question is that I have, what is the most innovative solution you successfully implemented in the field of robotics? So, in your experience, what is the most successful implementation that you have made in your career?
me personally.
Yes, personally.
Is the extraction of human and animal consciousness. So understanding the influential matrix of humans, uncovering the mysteries of subconscious computational thought patterns that are conglomerate masses which humans are not able to read. So, for instance, revealing the mysteries of coma, sleep research, people under anesthetic. And we need robots to go around to the patients that in order to take the readings to collect the data. So just like I showed you an example of a tablet type thing, the technology can be in anything. It can be in a robot, it can be in a watch, it can be in anything. The outside doesn't matter, it's just like a prototype of device in order to show the appropriate person what it can do. So, but yeah, robotics and medicine, I would say robotics and neuroscience, and neurological behaviors in humans and in animals. And I'm very looking forward to merging with the nanotechnology agricultural center in Egypt for seeing how we can understand plants and nature. Now, with this type of with this type of technology, actual intelligence, it's not just the individual um, reading, but we can also do collective consciousness, which means that, and that's where quantum robotics would really come in, is not only can you analyze one person, but you can analyze a room full of people, and you would understand the consciousness of that dynamic. And imagine that you could analyze the human, the animal, and the tree, and understand how it interacts with each other, what type of consciousness you have close to nature, interacting with your pet or other animals. And basically, if it has memory, it has DNA, it has quanta. So if it has memory, you can decode it. And robotics is the way to collect all that data, definitely. But I succeeded in extracting subconscious conglomerate thought patterns. So.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Catherine. It has been a wonderful discussion with you. Not just it was not just a informative discussion, but also I can say it is a futuristic discussion with you, and I think the enthusiasts have learned a lot about the insights of quantum robotics, and I think they surely certainly they will get motivated from your vision or from your experience. So this is the very last question that I want to ask you. That one of our audience who want to know that as everything is energy, now we are in a new timeline. I am curious, how does the robot works on gathering data, collaborate with forensic medium who has succeeded in many cases in investigations?
That's an interesting question. I'll tell you how I had the idea of analyzing plant DNA was a lot of crimes happen in forests, especially in the United States. And I remember being in England visiting Ralph's base, and I was in my hotel room, and I'm watching this program where they're actually using psychics and mediums to sort of, they actually hire people like that to see if they can solve the crime in some way. And I remember just saying to myself, well, it happened in a forest. And I said, that tree could talk. Then you would be able to find the criminal. And we all know right now that plants do have emotions. This research is not new. We know that plants will react if you destroy another plant in front of it, and so forth. So we'll react and identify the person who did it with their reaction. Now, in terms of energy and is light never dies. Light never dies, which means that the spectrums of light, we have white light, we have red light, ultraviolet light, blue light, and so forth. So within that light is information. So by understanding what information is in the long waves and the short waves, we're going to discover more and more of time continuum and multidimensional levels of existence. And that's where quantum, just so that non-scientists out there A lot of non-scientists and public is using the word quantum for something like very metaphysical and so forth, but it means to quantify and it's to measure. So now, if you can quantify the information in spectrums of light, now you have a whole different paradigm and dimension that you can go beyond diagnostics and dig into the mysteries of multidimensional awareness.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Catherine, for your time, and we are
Thanks
very
for
honored
having me.
to we are very honored to have with you in
Me
this
too.
session. So right now, I would like to invite Hafizul Imran Bhai to end this session, and till then, I would like to uh, thank our audience to join this session, and I hope you all get the insights and get the information about quantum robotics. So, Dr. Catherine, thank you once again. So,
Thank you for
Imran Bhai,
having me.
uh, thank you. So, Imran Bhai, I'm sharing the floor with you.
Thank you for your nice presentation. So I would like to, first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Dr. Katrin for delivering such a wonderful time-demand speech. And I hope our audience today, our audience already learned a lot from your speech. And we already know that Facebook already released metaverse, you know. So
Yeah, it's exciting.
yeah, so we can explore as like a physical world in a virtual world. So this is another innovation.
It
So
is.
we are living
Indeed.
in a fourth industrial revolution and are going to for a fifth industrial revolution. And I think the quantum computing as well as quantum robotics will be the future. Already we start working with this technology, and this will lead the next industrial revolution. So thank you very much for joining us and watching our show. So Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.